Good day, thanks for tuning in to my Sasquatch Sunday video. My name is Todd Standing, and I am the man who takes people out into the field and has them live interact with their eyewitness of Sasquatch. What's the importance of that? Well, this is going to be the year of Sasquatch 2023, and I'm going to substantiate that proof to you right now with evidence. I'm going to show you by giving you a little history lesson and helping you understand where we are, where this discovery sits, and why 2023 is going to be the breakout year where the discovery literally fully precipitates itself and we take it to the next level. So I'm very excited about that. Let's start with this little sequence right here. I'm going to show you.
Well, of course, the thing that most piqued my interest and curiosity and motivated me to come and spend this time with Todd was the extraordinary videos. I still am very interested to learn more and see more relating to these extraordinary videos. Because if indeed they are clearly some of the most astounding photos of Sasquatch in existence. And so while this has been a fascinating visit and I've been immensely impressed.
He was immensely impressed, and that was approximately an hour before he eyewitnessed a Sasquatch under my guidance. So literally from where he was sitting, a Sasquatch came within about 30 yards of where he was, and he eyewitnessed the entire accounting along with it smashing and crashing in the bush and interacting with a colleague and myself. So, and what did he say there? If indeed they are clearly the most astounding photographs of Sasquatch in existence, and they are indeed all legitimate. I've been filming Sasquatch since 2005, where I procured video 2 and 3, and now I'm up to video 9, 10. So, and I'm going to give you a little history lesson. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. There's going to be new footage. This is the year. I know it's coming. I've got all my expeditions planned. I've got the new technology that's going to absolutely take this discovery to a new level. And this is the year. There's going to be new DNA. There's going to be new video evidence. There's going to be new eyewitness accounting that's going to explode this discovery. Because believe me, I'm sitting here and having worked on this for almost 18 years now is the length of time that I've been doing this. So, but let's get a little more of a history lesson here. Let's show you what happened to another PhD that came out with me on expedition, the late, great Dr. John Bennerlego. That was Professor Jeff Meldrum of Idaho State University, who you just heard speaking. Now this is another colleague and passed away friend of mine, mentor of mine, the late, great Dr. John Bennerlego, who's a wildlife biologist PhD.
I've been able to see for the first time some complete segments of Todd Standing's filming of Sasquatches in another area where he's worked on, and with him explaining the background, which is so important. And I'm firmly convinced that he has filmed Sasquatches, and that what he has portrayed in his documentaries are indeed very close portraits, in fact, of the Sasquatch face.
I think that testimony speaks for itself. And that's just the beginning. I have new PhDs coming out this year that are going to substantiate new evidence, new video footage. All this is going to explode. Besides the fact that I'm working on bringing out pretty much someone famous like Joe Rogan, a podcaster, Mr. Beast, or I don't know who. The Rock, it doesn't matter. I need to keep taking people out into the wilderness, showing them the reality of this species so they can go off and communicate what's going on to other people. Now, what I'd like to talk about a little more today that's also going to substantiate with the history of what I've done that'll bring us to the next level of this discovery was people never talk about this when you hear about Todd Standing. It's almost been swept under the rug. In 2006 and 2007, I had a documentary with video 2 and 3 that's public now. And I took that around and I showed people the reality of Sasquatch and had them sign a petition for species protection. So let's get into that right now. These are the actual newspaper articles. These are the actual television newsroom stories that were done on me. These were mostly just Canadian local ones, but there were stories done CNN, BBC, all the way to Australia. France did stories on me. So this was literally international headlines when I was working on species protection. And you need to know the whole backstory behind what was actually being done and why I was doing it. Again, some history that'll help you understand where this discovery process is actually at and what's going to be happening in 2023.
There's an Edmonton man who claims he has captured the legendary Bigfoot on tape.
You can judge for yourself when he screens the footage Thursday night at the Ziedler Theatre at the Citadel. Graham Neal caught up with the filmmaker today to get a sneak preview.
Standing says he was skeptical about Bigfoot's existence until he saw him, her, or it by himself a year ago. The question is, can his documentary convert others?
Does Bigfoot exist, or have all the sightings been a hoax? Well, one man thinks he can put any doubts to rest. Todd Standing claims he's seen the legendary creature, and he believes the government needs to stand up and take notice.
Well, Bigfoot is coming to the border city. An independently produced mini-documentary about the legendary Sasquatch will air this Friday at the Vic Juba Theatre. As Jessica Isaac explains, the man behind the initiative is working to protect the unidentified mysterious species.
And the petition to make this Canada's newest protected species.
The Bigfoot's a reality and not just some legend.
Although it's tough to make out, an Edmonton man believes this shadowy creature he captured on video is the mythical Bigfoot.
I was shocked. I still am shocked. I still try to be my own hardline skeptic. Could it really, is this?
Todd Standing says that this isn't the only Bigfoot video he has. He wouldn't show us his other footage, but says that you'll see everything in his documentary.
It's amazing. What I have to show people is just going to blow them away.
Todd Standing stands by his video proof that Bigfoot exists. It's in his 30-minute documentary, Sylvanic, derivative of a native word that means shadow guardian of the mountains.
Now, with what's happening and the way these animals are losing their habitat, my goal is to get protection for them. This is a better shot of it.
That's it right over there?
That's it.
Couldn't that have been a bear?
That's not a bear. I was there. That's an arm. Bears don't have arms.
It couldn't have been like a very tall 400-pound man in a suit or something?
Yes, it could have been. It would be a brilliant way to keep people out of a certain place, right? Create this huge mythos, the shadow guardians of the mountain.
He's an independent documentary producer on a mission to prove and protect the existence of the Sasquatch.
Initially, I was a skeptic. I just said, I don't believe. And I always had a theory about Bigfoot. It was called a hoax mistaken identity theory. And, I just wanted to prove that theory. And 18 months ago, when I went on the 4th expedition into that region and I shot these 2 pieces of video, it wasn't even the videos at all that made me a believer. It was everything else that you see.
Standing has spent the last 2 years researching, developing a team, and heading out on several expeditions, ones where he claims to have recorded video footage like this of the Bigfoot.
When you realize this is, these are these huge animals crashing around the woods, especially at night, because that's when they're active, that's when they do things. It's terrifying.
For Edmonton, Millwoods, Beaumont.
Mr. Speaker, I just want to clarify that
Conservative MP Mike Lake presented a petition in the House of Commons that calls on Parliament to protect Bigfoot. The petition was the brainchild of Todd Standing, an avid Bigfoot hunter who claims to have proof the creature exists. But before he'll come forward with this evidence, he wants legislative protection guaranteeing the animal's safety.
If I made my knowledge to discover a Bigfoot domicile public, can you imagine what would happen?
So you need to understand too, that's not really documented very well. We talk about it a little bit later, but I literally went to Fish and Wildlife first. I spent a year talking to Fish and Wildlife, pleading with them to come out with me so I could show them the reality of Sasquatch, and just got no's, and all the red tape and all the crap that I had gone through was very significant. So I made a little documentary, and to make it legal in Canada, even my goal with this petition was if they're a legally protected species, then the Fish and Wildlife would have to come out and I could show them a Sasquatch. So this is my roundabout way. So nobody talks about this. Do you understand? I went to Fish and Wildlife first with footage and evidence and all the stuff that I knew about Sasquatch and said, come out with me and I want to show you a Sasquatch. Let's do this. And they went, no. And I went all over, even to the United States, in the United States, all through Canada, pleaded with these people. Come out with me and I'll show you a Sasquatch. Do you realize the significance of what I'm telling you? These agencies wouldn't come out. So I said, screw you all. I'm going to make them an acknowledged protected species. And then you're going to be forced to come out with me. That was the purpose. So you're seeing these are different news media companies that are in different little townships that I went through. So I toured this thing all over Alberta, into British Columbia, into Saskatchewan, even here in Canada, 3 different provinces. I toured it, and the whole purpose was, if you didn't notice in there, I had myself and a couple of volunteers saying, hey, please sign our species protection petition here, which was the whole point. I literally, these morons that are out there telling you this is some money-making scheme of mine have no idea. I literally gave all the proceeds, as you'll see me talk about in this video, to all the local humane societies, animal humane societies. It was an animal humane issue to me, and I literally got support of humane societies in every little town I went to, and I gave all the proceeds to them. So there's no profit to be made in this whatsoever. My purpose was always just to prove Bigfoot's real. Do you really understand that? That's all I ever wanted. It's all I still want to this day. And that's what this whole push that I'm doing right now, that's so important. Talk about the history of what I've done. We're not even talking about the court case. Don't get that confused. This is the species protection petition that I did in 2007. Then there were other things that I did specifically later on, just maybe 5 years ago. This is 15 plus years ago. About 5 years ago, I did the court case, which is a whole other ball of wax we're not getting into today. But the same thing, suing Fish and Wildlife for them to come out and do their freaking job. I didn't want a nickel. I never wanted a dime. I can prove to anybody Bigfoot's real. Do you understand the ramifications of what I'm saying? I've been doing this for almost 2 decades now. What is it going to take for people to believe that I'm really legitimately doing this? Don't take my word for it. Come out with me and I'll show you a Sasquatch. I've done it with the best in the world, and I'm not going to stop. And at this point, we're at such an incredible level of unreal success that we're garnering that 2023 is going to be a breakthrough year. You can bet on it. So let's get back into some more sequences from the history of what I've done with the discovery process of Bigfoot.
What's my goal here? Well, first of all, y'all gave $5 to the Humane Society, so thank you very, very much for that. We are raising awareness of these animals. What I want to do is, in the spring, I'd like to go find, with the help of the First Nations people, I'd like to go find another domicile these animals regularly inhabit. We'll go get a hair sample, we'll shoot another video, we'll get DNA evidence, and we'll come back, and if by then we don't have protection, we'll get protection.
So there was my educated prediction, which actually came true. Video 4 and video 5 were what I filmed in that next year. And of course I did get DNA, and I had litmus tests done and all different. I realized that it actually was going to take a full genome to take this to another level, and that was done as well. So not by me, but by Adrian Erickson had that happen, and I did participate and work with Adrian Erickson quite significantly. So, but what I'm telling you this year is, my goal is to get new footage, starting thermally, of particular individuals, start matching tracks and thermal images and sizes to particular individuals that are regularly coming around, and then to start gathering DNA from these individuals. I'm not sure I'll be able to get the DNA, but this year I'll be able to identify multiple individuals that I'll get footage of through the new technology that we'll be using this year, and then I'll start placing those DNA, because what I want to do is, it's one thing to have a DNA come back as unknown species. It's a whole other thing to have it come back as, this is an 8-inch track, this is a 12-inch track, this is a 14-inch track, these are 17-inch tracks, and these are 16-inch tracks. These are males and females and whatnot, and then have that substantiated with the DNA saying, this is the dad, this is the mom, this is the sister. Not only are these unknown species of hominids, but they're all related to one another. And that will really blow this discovery right through the roof, to the point where there'll be no need to come back with a body. Just the same way the Skywalker gibbon is recognized without a body. The precedence has been set. We're going to do that same thing with Sasquatch, and it won't matter if science gets on board or not. When I get out and when I keep showing people, when men and women of power, again, like Joe Rogan, who's been talking about me, and I'll get on a show like that. When I start doing stuff like that, when I take Joe Rogan out, Joe Rogan's got more power, in my opinion, than CNN and MSNBC. He tells the truth. He's caught them lying. I take a human being out like that, and there are literally dozens of people that have that kind of power right now. Russell Brand, I take him out, show him a Sasquatch. He comes back and tells the world, same way Jeff Meldrum did, same way I've had tremendous success on Survivor Man, that there's really something out there. Something's out there, or they see a Sasquatch and have that kind of accounting, then this discovery goes to the next level. And that's what we're looking at right now. 2023, this has already been put into place. New PhDs coming out, and some amazing people that are going to take this discovery to the next level, and that's what we're looking at.
So how did you start your quest?
I was always a skeptic, and I started getting into the Sylvanic thing, and before I knew it, I wasn't a skeptic anymore. I was a believer, and with what I had seen and what I'd shot on videos, it was just, the evidence was tremendous.
2 years ago, how did this all come together?
Well, it's on my website, Sylvanic.com. I had a friend of mine had an incident where his dog was killed in this region, and then I just started studying native folklore, working with the First Nations people, working with a brilliant biologist from the U.S. who's been studying this for 15 years.
Now, you used to totally disagree with Bigfoot.
Yeah, I was absolutely a skeptic. I had a theory that I wanted to prove called hoax mistaken identity, yeah.
And what was the moment that changed it all for you?
When I just saw things and experienced feats of athleticism that a man couldn't possibly do. We didn't want to lose our research site. The first people I ever went to was forestry officers. I tried to keep this as quiet as I could. I went to forestry officers. I said, look at all this evidence I have. Come and help me. And they said, we don't care how much evidence you have. You're on your own. This is a private thing. And I said, but look, don't take my word for it. Come with me, please.
Right.
Whatever it's going to take. And they said, absolutely not. We'll have nothing to do with this. There's no legal protection for the species. There's no legal recognition for the species in Canada.
I had to take a new stance because the power of podcasts and personalities has shifted so dramatically that I'm really not even worried about fish and wildlife anymore. I'm simply going to start, right now the discovery has happened. Like John Bitternagel says, every person I take out and who sees a Sasquatch or sees profound evidence of a Sasquatch discovers it. And I've done that 10 times this year. I did it 20 times the year before, 20. Like it goes on and on. There's so many people that are coming out and having this tremendous success with the Sasquatch and bringing this discovery process up to the next level, that this is really, this is the year. I have everything that I need, stuff that I've never had before with this new advanced technology. And this discovery process in 2023 will grow so significantly, so dramatically based on what I've done before, what I've done in the past. I'll simply just take this to another level. New amazing people with new incredible pieces of evidence that's never been brought to light before. And that's where we're at. And this is really the time, with all this scientific knowledge and background and information that's led me up to this point, and all the amazing men and women that have helped and moved forward with this discovery process that are going to become public this year with what they've seen and what they've witnessed. I'm gonna do stuff that's going to put me up to a level that I was never at before. I was never ready for it before. At this point in time, I'm absolutely ready. The discovery is all in place. I can see all the pieces have been perfectly designed. I know every which direction from experience, from being boots on the ground, what's necessary for this discovery to transpire. And most importantly, I'm 100% ready. So no matter which way this goes, no matter what direction this flows, the discovery is happening. 2023 is going to be a banner year. Mark my words. I'll be back here in 10 months telling you, I told you so, just like I've done before, just like I'll do it again this year. So that's the kind of success we're going to garner this year. I want you all that have been so frustrated over the 50 plus years the Patterson footage has been out, and all these great men and women that have busted their asses and in their lifetime, like John Bitternagel, never saw this discovery precipitate to the level that we're going to get to in 2023. It's going to be a mind-blowing year. Be very excited about it because it's happening, and we cannot be denied the truth. It's here, it's now. Thank you very much for tuning into my video. Much more to come. Until then, take care of yourself.